Hello again, everybody! I'm Mr. McSquare, and these are my friends, and we're coming at you from the Java Coast. Today we're with Chuck Ross, Caden Too Cool, and CopperSkye. And what are we doing? Well, we're raiding the trial chambers. Now, just by luck of the draw, I got fortunate enough that there was a trial chamber complex right in the vicinity of the area that I selected for my starting base. So, gotta tap into this. All kinds of free loot. And a lot of people make the mistake of trying to do trial chambers after they've got full diamond gear that's all enchanted. And if you do that, then the loot's here, well, they're no good to you. The earlier you do it, the more beneficial the loot is. So you can see that we've come in here with just basic iron and even stone equipment, and we're just looking to upgrade early on. The other thing as we're running around is look at all this copper and tuff. It's beautiful building materials, and I don't have a big inventory yet of different stuff to build my base out of. So I'm looking at this trial chamber. Yeah, we want trial chamber loot. But to me, the real treasure is the trial chamber itself. I want these building materials. Oh, so pretty. Anyway, so we work together as a team, and we, of course, want to bash the monster spawners and get keys. And it went okay at first. Like, it really did go okay at first. But then, we got beat up bad. We got in too deep. And then the monsters, there's a spawner timer, and we got our butts kicked. And we just had to call it. We just called it. Nope. It just did not work out. Nope. Frustrated. And you can see we're missing pieces of armor and everything else. But it was a lot of fun. Misery loves company, and we have fun together. So they all went home. And then for the next couple days, I just went in on by myself. And literally, I just wanted to clear out one spawner and then cap it. We totally forgot to cap these things. When you're going through, after you clear a spawner, in 30 minutes, it'll be active again. So that'll cut off all your access. So you can see that in a couple days, I just gutted everything that wasn't needed and built staircases up. And then built staircases up, and then blocked in all the spawners with blocks. And then I just throw a candle on top to mark them. And I know there's a spawner under there. Additionally, there were a few baby zombie spawners, which oh my gosh, they are more pain than what they're worth. So there's a few spots where the spawners have just been absolutely smashed because I don't want to deal with baby zombies. Baby zombies suck. To me, not worth it. So this chamber consists solely of bog archer skeletons and spider spawners. The only other one was baby spawners, and I removed all those because just no. So underneath each of those tough markers is a spawner, and I've done this to the entire trial chamber complex. Again, you can see that I've ripped out all the unnecessary copper and tuff blocks that were just providing obstacles and such. So it's really been stripped down. And that's just going to make life super simple. And you can see I've done it through the whole complex. And now that that's done, I invite my friends back and go, okay, let's do this again. And we get our ominous bottles out. And we go for the really good loots. Now, unfortunately, this trial chamber was very stingy to us and didn't give us very many ominous keys. So we're going to have to come back in the future and do it again once we get more ominous bottles. But you can see, just by controlling the spawner itself, that we just surround it And then as soon as the monster spawns, we beat the tar out of them. Just bam, 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 next. And that's way, way, way easier. One of our biggest obstacles becomes if we bunch up too much, we wind up hitting each other. So, there, dead. Next monster. And then we just keep doing that until we, well, I want to say till the spawners are all done, but really until our timers on our ominous bottles expire. Because really, we want the loots. The loots are pretty good. They help us build and develop the early game. And again, do your trial chambers early. Like it's not speed running. It's getting rewards at a time that'll help you. Like some of the vaults, they'll spit out blocks of iron, right? Which is super awesome when you're trying to set up. But later on, when you're in fully enchanted diamond gear, that's junk. You don't need that stuff. But start of the game, it's awesome. So do it early. And here we are. We're just like unenchanted iron armor, unenchanted weapons. Like I've got a stone axe for crying out loud. And then it's like, oh look, an iron axe pops out. Ooh, that's useful to me. Anyway, that's my take on trial chambers. Do them while the rewards are very shiny to you, and then you stay motivated to get through it. And as you can see, friends make this easier. This would be harder to do if I was on my own. Then I might have to wait until I got better gear and do a little bit more damage on each whack. But because we're triple teaming every monster that comes out, we handle it pretty easily. And that is much more controllable, much more survivable, much easier, and still fun because we're working together. And then you just move on to the next spawner. It pops out, you kick the crap out of them. Done. So when all that's said and done, we are going to have to go back because we ran out of ominous potions and timers, and there's all kinds of super ominous loot. But look at all that copper. Man, so much copper, so much tough. Which is tough itself too. It's a very pretty block to work with. So since we've got all that, I might as well start building with trial resources. Rob the trial chambers for the actual trial chamber. And they're going to repurpose it. Like you see down here, I'm in my village area. It's all cobblestone and wood. Looks fine, but bit rough, bit unfinished. Good enough for the villagers and the peons, but not for my residents. Yeah, I'm going to live up here. This is going to be my house. You can see I've just marked pillars off. When you build a house, frame it. Frame it so you know the dimensions that you're building. Even in real life, you build the frame first before the interior walls and everything. You gotta know your perimeters and so on. And that's all these pillars are. That's the interior corners. I want a walkway around the outside, and I just want that walkway to be 2 blocks wide. And I've covered that walkway with dark oak, and it's half slabs so that monsters don't spawn on top. And then we're going to use all that toughened copper to build the structure itself. So you can see it's just half slabs, and that's stairs to transition from the half slab to the wall. And underneath me here is just the stairway down to the bee farm area. Busy bees. Man, they are so good. So good to just multiply the production of your farm. And again, you can see the pillars sticking up. That's just so I know where the corners are. And it also helps me with the transitions. You can see that I'm using chiseled tuff at the perimeter. And I'm going to use this waxed copper blocks, which I got tons of from the child chambers. Like, I can't imagine trying to mine this much copper smelt this much copper in furnaces, and then wax it. Like, geez, really? And oh, let's throw on time to oxidize all this stuff so it turns green. Like, forget it. If it wasn't for the trial chambers, there's no way I'd be building with this block. Now I'm glad I've got it, because it's super pretty. Makes for a really nice floor. And you can see I've got the chisel at the base perimeter, and I'm using chisel for the transitions. And look at the bottom of the chisel there, like right along the corner. It gives you a beautiful little squared, almost like a tile pattern. And you'll see that more because I'm going to use that for the next floor level / ceiling. And of course I'm lighting everything up because I'd hate to be building and then get visited by zombies or something else. So at this point, we've got just this level, let's say the entry level of the Lord's Manor. And it's got just this beautiful green copper floor. It goes all the way around the exterior. I've used glass panes to close it in, so there's observation all the way around and theoretical protection from the elements. I've left some, like an observation gallery to the stairs below. I'm gonna have to close it in with something because the villagers, they've got a habit of walking off ledges and getting damaged. And then this level up here where I'm standing, this will be like my bedroom or my boudoir, where I'll be sleeping for my personal residence. And then outside will be my own personal, like, trophy hall, library, study, vault, who knows. So once again, let's look at our dimensions. And to get a clear picture, I'm just putting the corners up, framing the structure. Because it's one thing to look at the floor plan, and it's something else to have a three-dimensional image of what you want to do. So this large area here will be my big trophy hall. Put dragon heads and maybe build some small statues or what have you. And I really love that chiseled block. It gives me that's the bottom level there. It gives me a nice little trim pattern. And for the floor and ceiling, it gives me beautiful little square designs, and it even looks inset. So this will be the doorway to the bedroom. I'm gonna have to polish that up a little bit. Yeah, we'll just move it over one. Just right there. And then this area I'm standing in, either a balcony or a fireplace. Haven't decided yet. Okay, frame that up. It's not quite symmetrical, which is fine, because most buildings are not symmetrical. I don't want to live in a giant cube, despite my name being Mr. McSquare. And we'll add in some nice floor-to-ceiling type windows. Now your little dude is 2 blocks tall, so this gives a nice open feel to it. And we used the regular copper. We had tons of waxed copper blocks, and then we just turn it 1-to-1 into cut copper. Because cut copper we can turn into slabs. Can't do that with regular copper. So use the cut copper for the ceiling, or the roof rather. And the good thing about this too is the copper blocks come waxed, and so the cut copper also is waxed. So this is not going to age on me. It's going to keep its color, unless some imp runs around and wrecks my roof and removes the copper, and I'll see aging spots all over the place. I'm not big into texturing. Some people are, and I'd rather have a pure orange roof instead of one that's got weathering here and there. My idea of texturing is if a creeper came along and blew something up, I'd use a different block for the repairs, and that would be my my transition and my differences. Okay. Now, I make a half block transition on the outside, but on the inside I'm using full blocks. And that's because I can't put a half block of one block type on top of a half block of another, insofar as there would be gaps. And I don't want gaps. So it's full block transition at the bottom and then half blocks on the top. And to do that, it's pretty simple. It takes a little extra. But we've got extra resources. And you can see I incorporated stained glass Swedish flags on the sides of the big trophy room. I'm also wondering, I got 3 out of 4 walls of that trophy room done. I don't know what I'm going to do with the last big open side. I have to think about it. In the meantime, I've got some roofing. And the cut copper, I think with the squares, it makes it look like tiles. Roof tiles. Like shiny terracotta. And man, there is no way I would mine that much copper and smelt it. But the trial chambers provide, so hey, use the resources that are given to you. Absolutely. Finish that up. And then of course, the problem with half slabs and not using stairs is later on you're gonna have to light this up. Stop monsters from spawning on top. It's not spawn proof. Okay, that block sticking up is going to be my chimney for my fireplace. And then I want different parts of the building to have different roof heights. And the simple way to do that is just look at each component as a different part of a house and do it independently. And then when they run into each other, let there be an awkward transition. That awkward transition tells you that it's a different component of the building. There's the consistency in the blocks that we're using, so it says, hey, it's the same style, it belongs together. But because the shape changes, your eye knows right away there's something different there. It took me about 2 days just to strip down the trial chambers and get all these blocks out and then block all the spawners as I went through. And I think my current death count is at 60. And the majority of that is from baby zombies. Man, I hate those things. I'm also a Bedrock player, so the combat mechanics are... I'd say they're a little bit better in Java because it's more involved and you have to time it and have a few more skills. And the short version is I need to practice. But I'm stubborn, so I'll get lots of practice. #1 on the server for death count, that's for sure. Build Swedish flags, go Sweden. I'm not Swedish, but Mojane's a Swedish company. And the Ender Dragon and whatnot, it's absolutely from Swedish Norse mythology. Absolutely. Okay, that'll just be the top of the chimney. And even though there's fireplaces below, I want the smoke effect. And to do that, we're just going to throw a fireplace at the top, or campfire at the top. And there it is. And that'll do. That'll do nicely. And you can see all the torches. Like I said, you got to light up the roof. Otherwise, you're asking for monsters to spawn up there. Okay. You can see down below is the villager area, and up top is kind of like the Lord's area. And off camera, I'm going to add a handful of enchanters up there. Just the key ones that I need. I want mending, silk touch, unbreaking. The one I've got right now is Fortune 3. That's four dudes right there of specific enchantments that I'm after. And I've got room for like 8 guys. But to do that, I gotta get my cow farms going because I need leather. Been messing around with that child chamber for like a week already. And next I've got to do some farms. You can see as we do our little sail pass that copper roof looks beautiful. Gives it a punch of color. The angles are nice. Complemented well with the windows. I'm loving it. And that last wall that I didn't know what to do with, like there's a Swedish flag on both sides and some floor to ceiling windows on the other side, but the fourth wall is open. And I thought, you know what, in the future I'm going to have Elytra, so I'm going to leave that as an open like launch bay that I can fly in and out of this base. So I just framed it with some fences and I left it open. It feels so much better. Just, gonna need some doors, but it's starting to feel like home.
Spiders, so they poison you.
Okay, close that up. Could use double door, but I like the little bit at the top to make it look like big doors. Yeah, big doors. And that's about it. Some storage. Okay, I want 4 individual chests, and to do that we just we make the double chest and chop a piece off. But we're controlling where that double chest is. So I'm left with 4 single chests instead of 2 double chests. And I don't want to stack them up high just because there's the ledge with the windows there and I want to keep the views open. Couple armor stands. I'll fill that up with replacement gear because I die lots. And I think maybe a painting. There we go. Good old regal painting of a lady and a griffin. Nice. Okay. So that's about it. You can see this is now home. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really appreciate you all. Next up, I can get back to building farms, and in the next episode, you're going to see me build iron farms. That'll be coming up in the next one. So please, 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 please like and subscribe. I'd love to share more construction and creativity with you all. And put comments down below. Like, all you people, you've seen this game before. You've got ideas. Share your ideas with me, so I can cherry pick them and probably include some of them in what I'm doing. A little bit more light never hurts. So that's my launch pad. My launch pad and trophy room. Down below, the library. And so a few key enchanters. We'll make a proper library with every possible enchanter at spawn. But for here, I just need the key guys. Such pretty blocks. Thank you, Trial Chambers. Forget the vaults. I wanted the Trial Chambers themselves. Oh, and you can see that I had to fence up some of the windows. The the villagers were walking through and damaging themselves, and that's not acceptable. Well, again, thank you all. I'm Mr. McSquare, and I look forward to seeing you all again in another episode. Until then, bye-bye.